Lemi Frogwe, Erengere Jumbo Besha Okut, Chereke Iruofufu said, my Gashi Kween Obolo Inu Kabe Musha Chereke. I remain Jumbo Besha Okut, and then today is learning Obolo part 2. So we are going to learn some things in Obolo language, how to speak Obolo language. This is part 2. The previous one was an Obolo name, and today one is expressions like good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and they use it for common conversations. Okay, so let's go. Now we have morning. Morning in Obolo means Ewelewe. Okay, I'll put it in Obolo and English. Yes, English. It's English. Obolo. Alright. So it will be better for us to have one there, morning. In Obolo, it is Ewelewe. They have afternoon. In Obolo, we have Ikarek. Some we use Ikarek. Some use the K here, some use the T, depending on the dialect in Obolo. We also have evening. Evening means Ikapu. They will have nights. Okay, have night. Night means Eririeng. Alright. So if you want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Let's go. 1. Good morning. In Obolo, you have Owelewe. From this Ewelewe, you have Owelewe. Alright? 2. I want to greet somebody good morning. In Obolo, you say Owelewe. So you have good afternoon. Good afternoon. In Obolo, you have Onyewe. Then if you want to say 3, good evening. Good evening. Obolo is Ofit-ewe. They want to say good night. Good night. In Obolo it is Ewele. Alright. So you have good morning in English. Obolo is Ewelewe. You have morning in English. Obolo is Ewelewe. Afternoon in English. Obolo is Ikarek or Ikarek, depending on the dialect variant. In Obolo. Alright, so the difference is the T and the K. You have evening. In Obolo it is Ikapu. You have night. In Obolo it is Eririeng. Then in British you have good morning in English. Obolo is saying Owelegwe. In English, good afternoon. Obolo is Onyegwe. In English, good evening. Obolo is Ofi-egwe. In the English, have good night. In Obolo is Egwe Iwele. Alright? So take note of that, and then let's say we want to use some of these names, some Obolo names, to make sentence like conversation. Let's say you have here, maybe you have a friend, Awajigbana. These are Obolo names, Awajigbana, and Awaji Roiso, Awaji Mijang, Awaji Awaji Twiga, Awaji One, and the rest of the Awajis. You know, Obolo name for God is Awaji. Okay, so let's look at it now. Let's say you want to use, you have a friend from Andoni from Obolo or elsewhere, and they want to greet the person in Obolo language. Like want to say, John, good morning. Andrew, good morning. Or Andrew, good afternoon. Or Awajigbena, good morning. Awajigbena, good afternoon. Awajigbena, good evening. Or Awajigbena, good night. So let's see how you can put it. So let's say Awajigbena. So you have here Awajigbena. Awajigbena, this is the person's name. Alright, then you want to say good morning. Then say Owelegwe. So Awajigbena, this is good morning. Good morning means Owelegwe. So now say Awajigbena. You come out Owelegwe. Owelegwe. That is to say good morning, Awajigbena. Then you want to say, second one is, want to say good afternoon, Awajigbena. You can say Awaji. Okay, let's not use Awajigbena in this case. We use another person's name. Let's say Awaji Mijang. Have Awaji Mijang. Awaji Mijang. They want to use, instead of good morning, you don't say, you want to use good afternoon. You now say Awajigbena. Awaji Mijang Onyegwe. That is Awaji Mijang, good afternoon. Alright, Awaji Mijang Onyegwe. Let's look at another one. We have, let's say, Awaji Roiso is another name. So you want to say Awaji Roiso, good evening, or good evening, Awaji Roiso. This is how you say it in Obolo or Andoni. You write Awaji Roiso. Awaji Roiso. You want to use good evening. Good evening is here. So you see Ofi-egwe. Ofi-egwe. Alright. Now once we go to the next one, number 4, good night. Then want to call one of your friends and say maybe number 4. Then you want to greet somebody, you want to tell the person good night. Okay, maybe the person's name is Awaji Mijang. We have used Awaji Mijang. Alright. We have used Awaji Mijang. We have used Awajigbena. We have also used the Awaji Roiso. And then we are going to use let's say Awajoni. Let's say Awajoni. So you want to bring Awajoni in Obolo. You want to tell the person Awajoni good night. This is what you say. So good night is here. You now use Egwe Iwele. So Awajoni Egwe Iwele. Egwe Iwele. So alright. So you can, let's go back to it is Awajigbana Owelegwe means Awajigbana good morning. Or you can also say Owelegwe Awajigbana. Either this way or this way. Awajigbana Owelegwe or Owelegwe Awajigbana still means good morning Awajigbana or Awajigbana good morning. Awajigbana Awajimijan Onyegwe means Awajimijan good afternoon. If you say good afternoon Awajigbana Awajimijan, it is Onyegwe Awajimijan. Then if you want to say Awajimijan good evening, and you have it Awajimijan Ofit Egwe. If you want to say good evening Awajimijan, you now have it Ofit Egwe Awajimijan. So in this case, the number 4 is Awajioni Egwe Wele. Then that is to say Awajioni good night. Awajioni good night. Awajioni Egwe Iwele. If you say Egwe Iwele Awajioni means good night Awajioni. Alright, so now if you want to say so I think this will be where I'm going to draw the curtain for today. By next time we are going to learn more, but before I summarize, before I call it a day, let's go back to what we have here. First, remember that I said good morning in Obolo. Obolo is also here of Andoni in River State, also Andoni in Andoni in other states. Now you still have Andoni in other other states like Akwa Ibom State and some other states in Nigeria. So if you want to greet somebody who is from there or in Obolo language, the language that the Andoni people speak is Obolo language. So if you want to greet an Andoni person or Obolo person in Obolo language, good morning means Owelegwe. This is how we say it in Obolo. Rather, morning is Owelegwe. Afternoon is Ikare or Ikare. Evening is Ikaku. Night is Eririen. Then if you want to greet the person, say good morning, you say Owelegwe. Good afternoon, Onyegwe. Good evening, Ofi Egwe. Good night, Egwe Iwele. Then you want to use the person's name, you can use any other person's name apart from these 4 names. You can use anybody's name apart from this 4 names. So you change the person's name, change this name to the name that you would prefer to use. But I want to use an Obolo name. So Awajigbana Owelegwe means Awajigbana good morning. Awajimijan Onyegwe means Awajimijan good afternoon. Awaji Roiso Ofregwe means Awaji Roiso good evening. Awajoni Egwe Iwele means Awajoni good night. So thank you for your time. If you have any questions regarding the class of today, the lecture of today, please drop your question at the comment section. Okay, so I'll go through it and then we'll look at it together. Please share this video as you learn. Share it to Andoni people, share it to Obolo people, share it to your friends who have the intentions and the zeal, the willingness to learn Obolo. And I'm there, so always update you every week, especially by weekends. You're having my video tutorials like this dropping. Thank you very much. God bless you.